Hello, welcome to Todd Miller TV. There's a new app out today. It's called Homesnap. It's something you do with your iPhone. You basically take a picture of a house and it shows you, what the list price is and all this other crazy stuff. And there's been all these oohs and ahs about it, and to me it's unreal because it's gimmick. It doesn't add any value really to the consumer or to anything. And I'm seeing this growing trend of companies that are trying to take this device and make people think that somehow their app or their thing that they're doing is going to make their real estate transaction easier or make them be able to do it without an agent. And for the most part, it isn't. What this is the result of, and this app and all these other crazy apps out there, is something that I call the Googlization of real estate. And what I mean by that is this popular belief that Google somehow and websites and all this data is just going to emerge, and that the free market will take over and people will just be able to buy and sell houses and they'll have all the data because it's all at their fingertips. And actually, what all this is doing is making it worse. It's making it harder. It's making more misinformation. And it's making people give them bad information. I'll give you a perfect example. I got a phone call from a guy who said, I want to list my unit in this high-rise, and I see that you have a bunch of listings in this high-rise. And I looked at I said, well, what's the address? And he gives me the address, and I don't have any active listings in that high-rise. He goes, yeah, Zillow. I looked in 3 or 4 listings on Zillow or yours. So I go on Zillow, and sure enough, Zillow's got listings that I had a year or 2 ago. Says I'm the listing agent. It shows the price. So he wanted to hire me based on that. And I'm sure other consumers are looking at that and saying, oh, well, gosh, look how many houses are on the market. Because these houses have sold, but Zillow doesn't know that. So Zillow just has this garbage information on the website. The other thing you've probably seen with Zillow is the Zestimate, which is highly inaccurate. So the more we iterate on the actual data, the worse it gets, the more misinformation we put out there. So when we see these little, Homesnap, gimmicky apps, they don't add any value, they don't really do anything. As a matter of fact, the way this Homesnap app works is, in theory, you take a picture of the house and it searches, it goes through its database and it finds that house and it tells you all about it. But really what it does is it just knows your location, and then it finds the nearest house and assumes you're taking a picture of it. You could actually take a picture down of your dog on the sidewalk, and it would go, oh, well, let me find the nearest house to you. Well, here's a house a block away. Is this the one you're taking the picture of? It doesn't really search the picture of the house or anything like that. It's doing it based on location, and it's a little gimmicky. I mean, I think it's bad because people are thinking they take a picture of the house and it does something, but it really doesn't. And the big problem with this is that real estate is a imperfect world. It is a highly specific geographical phenomenon, and it's not something that you can collate a whole country's worth of data, stick it on a website, and have it mean anything. And I think that's the biggest mistake that we're making here, is by promulgating all these websites that really don't add any value. And I'll give you an example. When a listing goes in the MLS, it gets pushed to Realtor.com every 15 minutes. Every time the status changes, every time information changes, every 15 minutes, that information goes to Realtor.com. Okay, that's the only website out there that has accurate information. All the other websites have borrowed it from somewhere else. They've either scraped it from someone, they've let agents or homeowners import the data. It's not accurate. When prices change, when the status changes, when it sells, none of that gets updated. And you'll have listings that were listed 2 years ago, they've been fixed up, they're listed again, and you've still got the old data on the website showing that it's active. So you're making copies and copies and copies of bad data, and you're putting tons of it out there, and it's a mess. So this is not helping anybody. If you don't believe me, if you don't think this is bad, stuff like this is not helping the consumer, which it's not helping the consumer, do this. Find a subject you're like an expert on, like that thing you do for your job that's like you do it better than anybody else. You're an accountant, you're a doctor, you're an attorney, or whatever. and then you go on the internet and start Googling some stuff you know, whether it's true or false, and start to see how many different opinions of authority have talked on this subject and said completely wrong things. And I'm sure you've seen this. You know, it's like if you were like me. I was a jet jockey in the Marine Corps, and when I see movies like Top Gun, I laugh. That's all fake. I say none of that stuff. You know, none of that stuff is real. It's all hyperbole. So this Googlization of real estate is not good. These companies that are using these little gimmicks to get clients or to get press, I just don't see any value in it. I don't see anything coming of it. What really matters in real estate is the local market, and somebody who understands the local market. All the data in the world is not going to help you make a good decision on buying a house, selling a house, renting a house, or being an investor on a house and renting it out. It's going to be that local person in the field who understands that market, who understands the product, who understands the inventory, all the rules, all the procedures, all the local things. That's the person. So when I see Homesnap, I laugh at it. It's a joke. I don't see adding any value. I don't see a lot of these adding any value. Anyway, half of this was rant, but most of it was really, you know, what I believe, what I'm passionate about, which is real estate and making the consumer understand the complexities of it, and you know, trying to give the consumer good information without bombarding them with a bunch of crap information, which is really what's out there right now. So anyway, that is my update for today, and hope to see you on another video. Thanks.